I'm Dr. Rita McGuire. I'm the Chief Medical Officer here at Wakana, and I want to welcome all of our guests and our business partners to our business overview. You're going to hear a little bit about our story, the co-founders, what makes Wakana different, our movement, our culture, our products, and our opportunity. So I want to bring up my colleague, Dr. Joyce Smith, who is a PharmD. She's an amazing woman that is here in Chicago. Her practice is at Cook County Hospital. She trained at FAMU, received her PharmD degree, and we are just so excited to have her not only as a business partner, but have the expertise to really help us navigate our way through the interactions that CBD can have with medications and the expertise that she has just with overall pharmacology and the physiology of our body as well. So I'm going to bring up Dr. Joyce Smith, and then we will continue our conversation here. And Dr. Joyce Smith, can you share your slides?
I sure can. Hello, everybody. How are you all this evening? I know Dr. Rita usually asks everybody at the beginning of the conversation, how's everyone doing? And your only options are awesome, awesome, and awesome. So if you can put down in the chat box how you're feeling, we can get started. And once I share my screen, then we can go ahead and get started with our part of the program. Everybody's feeling awesome.
Yes,
awesome.
I as well. I am feeling
wonderful.
Awesome.
Wonderful. So Dr. Rita, if you could just give me the screen and then I'll start my part. All right, all right. Thank you so much. I got it. All right, everyone. Let me get here. Okay, play from the start. Here we are. So as Dr. Rita stated, I am Dr. Joyce Smith. I am a pharmacist at the county hospital. I am all things aromatherapy, all things natural wellness, all things just overall good health. So this is why I started with these two pictures, because these are both of my happy places. On the right, you see me and my family, my husband and my daughter. And on the left, you see me educating about alternative methods for healing. So what I did, I started as a pharmacist, as Dr. Rita stated. And then when I got out of school, I was like, you know, I'm searching for something that gives me a little bit more purpose. I know that there's a place in therapy for medication. I'm glad to be able to counsel patients and talk with patients in that regard. But I know that medication sometimes can harm a little bit more than they heal. So I started kind of trying to find my way in the natural wellness space. And when my brother got diagnosed with cancer, he really took control of his health, took control of his wellness, and he introduced us to a whole other world of natural healing methods. And so with his guidance and some of his kind of just inspiration behind how he was taking control of his health, I began to explore that space as well. And I landed in the essential oil space. I love aromatherapy. I got my aromatherapy certification a couple of years ago, as well as my health coach certification. And when Wakana found me, because I always say Wakana found me, I really felt like I was able to marry all of my skills: drug interactions with medications, natural wellness and healing, an alternative method to using traditional medications that can sometimes harm more than they help. So it just was a godsend for me. And I'm just grateful to be in this space, to be honest with you. So let's talk about why we're here. Cannabis, right? When most people think about cannabis, they're thinking about weed and getting high and being impaired and that kind of thing, and the stigma that has been associated with cannabis for so long. But now cannabis is becoming mainstream. And the reason that it's becoming mainstream is because people are realizing and seeing that, hey, there's more to this plant than the stigma that's been perpetuated for years. So you may go into a drugstore or a bookstore and see magazines just like this. People are now starting to understand that cannabis has way more impact on our bodies and on our lives than we thought. So even John Boehner, who was the former Speaker of the House, he was adamantly opposed to cannabis, like just did not like it at all. Excuse me. And he is now on the board, or was on the board, for a cannabis company that sold for $3.2 billion. So this cannabis is not just something to play with. This is a component of the cannabis plant that's just coming mainstream and really providing a lot of health benefits to people. You see Rolling Stone getting on board with talking about cannabis in their articles and in their magazines. And again, Walgreens and CVS getting on board knowing that there is health benefit to this plant. So when I talk about women and I talk about shopping and influence, I always feel like we kind of influence the space where people spend money, right? So if people are going into a department store, I feel like it's set up kind of to appease women so that their shopping experience can be better, right? So that is why these women were interviewed, and there are some percentages that came back around what they were interested in the cannabis space. So 60% of women want to know how cannabis can impact skincare. 32% of women want to know how to get involved in the cannabis industry, as Dr. Rita and I are, as the other 3 co-founders are, as all of our business partners are. 23% want to know how it can enhance the sex life, because let's be real, we've been in this pandemic. Some of us are still working from home. At the time when we couldn't go anywhere, excuse me, sex might have been part of the day all the time. So, you know, they want to know how cannabis can enhance the sex life. How it can enhance dining experiences, retail experiences. So you can see that people are learning how cannabis can be incorporated into their life, but also unlearning the negative stigma that caused them to stay away from it. We see that this is the time to get into this industry. See, in 2015, the cannabis industry was slated to be at $202 million in terms of the income. But by 2022, we're looking at a $22 billion industry. And I'm sure these numbers have probably increased. So if you're thinking about, how can I make my mark in the cannabis industry? How can I dip my toe in? How can I get some experience without having a $1 million price tag? This is something that you can learn this evening. And like we talked about, $1 million. You may be thinking about, well, if I get involved in the cannabis industry, I'm going to have to get a brick and mortar. I got to go find employees. I got to keep inventory. I have to provide all of these other things that are going to be taking money out of my pocket before I see any money in my pocket at all. And I don't know about you, but I don't have $1 million to just give to a dispensary and hope that my revenue comes back. I don't have it. So there's a way that what kind of fits into this equation where that $1 million won't be a part of your plan. What kind of fits in by unlocking the paths to health, wealth, legacy, and freedom in the cannabis space. And see, what kind of has a vision, what kind of has a mission, what kind of is not just stepping out here to just take all the money and do what they can, what kind of has a vision and mission that we follow so that we can make sure that everybody has courage to take back the strength, to take back their health, their wealth, their legacy, and freedom. They make sure that we can go as confident entrepreneurs in this space, confident formulators, confident investors. And the vision, we want to end the negative stigma that's caused cannabis communities around the world to suffer and lose out on the health and wealth benefits of this beautiful plant called cannabis. So we want to make sure that you are empowered and educated and that you learn why this plant can produce both health and wealth benefits. So we talk about 420. And 420, when you hear that, you're like, oh, that's National Weed Day. Or some people say that's National Weed Day. But I like to call it National Wakana Day because that's when our 4 co-founders came together and started this movement. You see, we're talking about a company on the left-hand side, but we really feel like this is a movement. That movement is powered by our vision and our mission. And our 4 African-American, wonderful, dynamic women believe that that health, wealth, legacy, and freedom that we talked about are gifts that belong to all people. So who are these 4 women? Well, you met one of the 4 women just a few moments ago, Dr. Rita McGuire. She's our Chief Medical Officer, and she has over 30 years of experience as an OBGYN. She was one of the first physicians to certify patients for medical marijuana, and she testified in front of the governor as to why cannabis is a plant that really has a lot of health benefits for our people. Melissa Boston, our CEO, she's really our visionary for the company. She has all of these dynamic ideas that just make us go further and further and further. She's a beast, y'all. Like whatever she thinks, she puts her mind to it, it gets done, and it enhances this company. She's trained over 50,000 distributors in 40 different countries. She retired at the age of 33. She fired her boss, and she just went out and did her own thing. So I really commend Melissa Boston for just being the powerhouse that she is. We have Dr. Patricia Van Pelt, who's our president. And what I like to call her is like my mindset guru. Anytime we have a training, anytime we have a call, she's teaching us how to wake up wealthy. She's an evangelist. This is her 3rd term in the state Senate. She's an author. She's just an all around, just wonderful woman. And our fabulous Phyllis Nash, who is our chief sales officer, she is what we call our midwife in Wakana. So she helps us to birth all the possibilities, to birth all the dreams that we may have behind how to make our businesses successful. And she really just gets behind us and makes sure that we live up to what we say we want to do. If we say that we want to be held accountable, she makes sure that that happens. So when we're talking about CBD and when we're talking about how it works in our body, we first want to know, what is CBD? And it's not on this slide here, but I will tell you, CBD is the non-psychoactive part of the cannabis plant. There are 2 parts. You have the hemp species and you have the marijuana species. When you think about hemp, you're thinking about the non-psychoactive portion, the one that doesn't cause the euphoria or paranoia. And then you're talking about the marijuana species, the one that has a considerable amount of percentage of THC in it. So we'll go a little bit deeper into how our products kind of work in that space. But the science behind why CBD works in your body is called the endocannabinoid system. And what that is it's a regulatory system in your body that is looking for cannabis, is looking for cannabinoids to come and attach to those receptors. And there's about 80 different compounds in the cannabis plant that can attach to those receptors. Now, it controls so many of our bodily functions. It can control blood pressure. It can control issues that you may be having with blood sugar. It regulates a lot of those different systems and allows our bodies to come back into balance or homeostasis. So when I say that the receptors are everywhere, they're literally everywhere. There's receptors in the brain for the endocannabinoid system, the heart, the teeth, the stomach, the bowels, the kidneys, liver. I mean, anything you can think of, there is likely an endocannabinoid receptor there. And when I say that it brings the body back in balance, that doesn't mean that it cures anything that it may be bringing back in balance. It doesn't treat. We can't diagnose and say, yes, this will cure this. But we can say that it can help bring those systems and those bodily functions back in balance. So when we're talking about our products, I like to do this slide before the products so that you know that these are products that you can trust. We are compliant with the State Department of Agriculture regulations. We are industrial hemp registered. We are Farm Bill compliant. Our products have certificates of analysis. And what that means is that what we say is in our bottle is inside of our bottle. Our certificate of analysis will tell you all of the components that are inside of our products. And it'll also bring to light what's not in our products. No pesticides, no heavy metals, no mold or mildew, anything that could compromise the health and integrity of our patients, I'm still at work in my mind. The health and integrity of our customers, any of our distributors, anyone that uses our product, those are things that are not included in our products. And a couple of disclaimers. We are not selling any of our products to anyone under the age of 18. And if you're specifically speaking about vaping oil, which we do have, we don't sell that to patients under the age, I keep saying patients, excuse me, y'all. We don't sell that to persons under the age of 21. Your product should be used as it's said on the label. And if you're pregnant, you're nursing, you have serious conditions, you're on medications, you always want to make sure you have your doctor looped in on what it is you're doing from the traditional side and from the holistic side, because you want to make sure that what you're doing holistically is not causing an issue with what you're doing with traditional medication. So you just always want to have your doctor on board. Again, I'd like to stress that Our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any diseases. So you won't hear us saying that we're doing any of that. We're saying that we can help bring the body back in balance. There may be some relief provided. You know, we're not going to use those claims because we can't make those claims based on FDA regulations. Now, the THC disclaimer, some of our products do have less than 0.3% of THC in it. And depending on how your body metabolizes THC, it's potential that that could show up on a drug test. So if you are subject to random drug screens at your job, you want to make sure that you don't take our power products. And I'll show you a slide a little bit later on that can show you the difference between the two. You don't want to take our power products with the 0.3% of THC. We don't want anyone losing their jobs. But our Pure line has less than 0.0% of THC and can be taken safely if you do have to do random drug screens at your job. So this is the illustration that I was speaking about. Our company has a line of power products, which are to the left that has a black label, and a line of pure products, which is to the right with the white label. If you are, again, subject to random drug screens, you want to make sure that you're taking our pure products so you can still experience the benefits of CBD without having to worry about whether it's going to compromise any drug screens at your job. So remember when I was talking to you about how people are thinking about getting into the cannabis industry, but they know that they don't have the $1 million that is required to get the brick and mortar, right? Wakana comes to you with an online dispensary option. So you're able to get commissions on your sales without holding inventory. You're able to provide free shipping to your customers with a $50 order or more, and that may change later, but right now it's $50, not the $75. You're providing affordable, natural, and organic products, and very rarely do you hear those two things in the same sentence. But that is what we provide to our customers, our distributors, and anyone that interacts with our products. You're able to take a 30-day free test drive. So say, hey, I want to see what this business is about. I want to kind of dip my toe in the water. And then once that 30 days is up, you can continue to earn your commissions and do your business by getting certified with us. So Wakana has kind of thought through the process and made it so that it's seamless for our distributors and people who are interested in our company to become a part. So now our products, I'm going to give you some of the most popular products that we have, although there is a full gamut of products that we work with that can just help with so many different things. So our proprietary Hempranium is our first one. It contains black seed oil, turmeric, hemp seed oil, and a carrier oil, which is called MCT coconut oil. And when we say carrier oil, it helps to carry the cannabinoids into the cells so that they reach them on that deeper level. Your black seed, turmeric, and hemp seed have multiple benefits. But when you're talking about digestion, help, like I mentioned, help with the blood sugar, cholesterol, being anti-inflammatory, really bringing that inflammation down, helping with heart health, brain cells, improving anxiety and mood. There's just so many different benefits. It is to be taken under the tongue. And you want to make sure you hold it there for about 30 to 60 seconds and then wait about 15 minutes before eating, drinking, or smoking so that you can make sure that it's being absorbed properly within your system. We talk about the edible industry. I mean, I'm sure some of you all have heard of people selling edibles and heard of people doing infused dinners and heard of people infusing their cocktails. And the edible market is so huge. So through our Wakana University, we're able to learn about how to infuse properly, where we're providing adequate information to the customers that we have about what's in our products, how much we're using, and what we're doing to enhance dining experiences or to enhance edible experiences. So it's just amazing to be able to have a team of advisors that can kind of provide you with a pathway to get to that dispensary industry and to that edible industry. And speaking of our edibles, these are just a couple of our most popular. These are our gummies. Again, you see that black and white label, meaning that the black label has a 0.3% of THC or less. The white label has less than 0.0% of THC. So you see the differences there in terms of which one would show up on a drug screen. I love taking these gummies before bed. Sometimes I'll even take half or a whole gummy during the daytime, depending on what level of anxiety that I'm feeling or if I don't have a tincture on me. But these gummies are great, especially for addressing the inflammation, addressing good sleep, having you get into that really deep, restful sleep, and increasing libido in some cases. So amazing, amazing product. And if you're starting, you want to start low, go slow, maybe do half. See if you're getting your desired effect after a couple of days. And then if you feel like you need to get more of an effect with your gummies, you can go ahead and take a whole one. We have our CBD culinary spices. I mean, I love all of them. I think the only thing I haven't tried is the culinary oil, but I love all of them. The garlic fire, the flavor king, the chili lime. You can infuse your food, season your meats and your chicken and your fish. Your power water soluble, any watery product that you have, whether it's smoothies or an infused drink or your water or oatmeal, anything where oil and water won't mix, you want to use that water soluble product. The culinary plus, putting it in your brownies or your cookies you may be making, or any other food that you're cooking where it would be kind of an oil base. With that and the culinary oil, you want to make sure you don't heat past 350 degrees. So no frying chicken. You know, you're going to cook out the medicinal benefit, and you might produce a little bit of a bitter taste. So you just want to make sure that you abide by those temperature recommendations. We have our CBD joints and cartridges. And what I want to point out here is that some people kind of turn their nose up a little bit about vape cartridges, but for our purposes, we want to again reiterate that we don't have any harmful products in our Wakana line. So a lot of people have heard bad things about vapes, and there are some that have vitamin E oil in them, some that have even dextromethorphan, which is a cough suppressant, has that in them. And both of those, when heated and ingested into the lungs in large quantities, can cause issues with the lung lining. So like we said, you can see a full certificate of analysis to know that we don't have those products inside of our products, but you can also rest assured that there's no heavy metals, anything else that would compromise the bodies of the people that we are providing our products to. And then your pre-rolls. The importance of this entire slide is for you to know that these are for acute conditions. So if you're talking about some acute anxiety, something that you need to handle fast, acute migraine, something that you need to just nip in the bud really quickly, these products are going to be great for you because they get into your bloodstream within 1 to 5 minutes. So if that's something you're looking to address quickly, this is another method where if you don't have any pre-existing breathing conditions or anything that will cause your lungs to be compromised, this is another way that you can ingest our products. We have our healthy hair solutions, and we just had a call with our Doris Mosley, she's our trichologist, who really educates us on how the hemp-powered hair just really works within our bodies when we take it orally, and how it works on the scalp when you're using the tincture topically. Very, very amazing product if you're dealing with any type of hair loss or difficulty with growth. We have our topicals. And there are a couple other topicals that I want to bring in here as well, but these specifically are really good for relieving pain. So what I want you to understand is whether you're applying the liquid relief oil or the relief topicals, they do have the 0.3% of THC in them, but because you're applying to the skin, that THC is not going to cross the blood-brain barrier and show up on your drug screen. So if you want to experience the relief of these topical products, you can rest assured that that's not going to be an issue with your job. Our other topicals are mango body cream. I use this on my whole body. It's not greasy. It smells amazing. The scent is not too harsh. I know some people have issues with scents, especially with allergies and things. I use it over my whole body. But with any topical, you want to make sure that you try it in an inconspicuous area just to make sure you don't have any sensitivities. But I love it. And our CBD lube. We spoke about how CBD is good at increasing libido. And then, you know, there may be some women with issues of vaginal dryness, or some men with issues of low libido or erectile dysfunction or what have you. You can apply this topically to the genitalia, and it will allow for that sexual experience to be that much better. And we know that Dr. Rita is trying to deliver 8,000 more babies. So I think we should help her out. Well, you know, maybe not everybody, but maybe we should help her out. We have essential oils, and I think when our co-founders decided to add essential oils to our line, not only was I elated because essential oils are my thing, but they really came up with essential oils that had healing in mind. So when you're talking about the black seed, the eucalyptus, the tea tree, and the peppermint, those are all good at cleansing your space, cleansing your air, making sure that those airborne microbes are not running rampant in your homes, on your surfaces, those types of things. These two I came to because the essential defense and the first defense are so critical in these times. The essential oils that are contained in these blends have components that don't allow viruses to live in their presence. So I think that that's really important, obviously, especially in these times, whether you're making a DIY surface spray with the essential defense, or putting a little bit on your toothbrush or in your teacup so that when it gets into your mucous membranes, it's attacking those viruses. No matter what you're doing, you're arming yourself and controlling the host, not the virus, because we can't control that, but you're controlling the host and making sure that it fights off whatever is coming to it, hence the name essential defense. You're defending yourself from everything that's going on. And then we have our hand and surface sanitizer, which is amazing in itself, again, for cleaning those surfaces, for those grocery carts that we have to inevitably touch. Sanitizing your hands, keeping it on you and being able to spray. It is made with quaternary ammonium instead of alcohol. And it's certified to kill 99.99% of germs that cause illness, and also qualify for the use against this COVID virus. So the reason that the quaternary ammonium was used, it's not going to dry out your hands. It's a different component that won't dry out your hands when you're using it. Excuse me. So these are just a small amount of the vast amount of products that we have and that we're adding to our growing list. But I just wanted you to be able to see what it is that our company is providing, the quality that our company is providing, and be able to see if there's something that may be interesting you in terms of your health and wellness. So with that, I will pass the rest over to Dr. Rita, because she has some jewels to share with you all as well. So Dr. Rita, you can take it away.
Thank you so much, Dr. Joy Smith. What an amazing presentation. And again, I learned so much each and every Wednesday or Tuesday when you present this information. We will take questions, so please put your questions in the chat, and we're going to address those questions that you have about the product at the very end. So I'm going to present the opportunity that we have here at Wakana. So I just want to let you know that all four pillars, we believe that the key to freedom is business ownership. And we want to show you what our compensation plan looks like and what that would avail to you if you decide to lock arms with us here at Wakana. We know that the time is now. The projected North American sales, again, of the cannabis industry is expected to be explosive. We are looking at a 700% or more growth in the revenue of this industry. See, in 2015, this industry was about $202 million. We're expected to see in upwards of $22 billion or more in this industry in the next 2 years. And we realize that at Wakana. We realize that if you combine what direct sales is doing. This is a number from 2017 or 2018, but the US retail sales was around $35.4 billion. And you combine that with the cannabis industry, we're talking about game over. And that's why we are so excited here at Wakana. Dr. Joy Smith talked to you about the fact that we just launched April 20th of 2019. We have had 162% growth here at Wakana. We are a recession-proof business model. Look at our revenue. Despite the global pandemic, we are having revenues in upwards of $250,000 a month here at Wakana. So let's talk about the difference that we offer here at Wakana. You know, traditional network marketing companies traditionally pay down to infinity. And that's why so many of us, including myself, I've joined many companies and really never made any money despite all of the hard work and effort that I put in building teams and organizations. Well, at Wakana, we are a hybrid. We're a hybrid of a network marketing company and a micro franchise. And what that means is that there's so many things that we don't have that allows you to be so successful. And our compensation has already proven itself. If you're a business partner on the line, you could attest to the fact that the ability for you to be successful is so much easier because of the way that our compensation plan is set up. So we don't have any business startup fees. You don't have any website hosting fees. Your replicated website is free. There are no required auto ships. How many companies have we been in where we had these required auto ships each and every month? There's no balancing of legs or quotas or shipping costs. And there's a balanced compensation plan. So it's not just the top 1% of the company that's making the big money. And then customer support. We have 24/7 customer support, as well as a shared revenue pool, which I will show you. Our business is willable. I mean, there are so many people that really want to leave a legacy for their great grandchildren. We understand that the cannabis industry is the next wealth creating industry that we're going to see in our lifetime. And then the unlimited income potential, the ability to be your own boss. That means you have more time with your family. So many things that make Wakana different. So we're going to talk about the 7 ways to earn income, because there are 7 ways here at Wakana to earn income. And they are through our online dispensaries, through our retail sales, through our shared wealth pool, through broker earnings, through broker overrides, through our car allowance and free trips. Now, the absolute best way to take advantage of all 7 ways revenues to get paid here at Wakana is through our full Crown Jewel dispensary. Our full Crown Jewel dispensary is $998. It's a $2,000 value. And what you get in this package is $1,500 worth of retail products. These are products that you can retail at a 50% profit margin. It also comes with 1 broker key activation. What that means is that you're able to give away as many online dispensaries as your heart desires. There are also 2 Wakana University vouchers that come with this package. We believe that education is imperative through our Wakana University, which we will go over, where you learn all of the knowledge about our products, about the cannabis industry, about branding and marketing as well. And with this package, you advance to Sapphire. We'll talk about what Sapphire means for 6 months. You have a lifetime Crown Jewel Limited of being paid on 2 levels. And every time that you sell this full Crown Jewel dispensary as a direct sponsor, you earn $200 bonus from the company. You also, as you're building a team, you earn from $5 to $50 7 levels deep. So this is the dispensary that many of you business partners on the line came in on the company and have had great success with the full Crown Jewel dispensary. We have other starter packs, which is our millennial and stimulus. See, our visionary, Melissa Boston, felt that it was really important not to leave anyone out. These starter packs value at $500. They are $199, and they include $200 worth of retail products, 1 broker key activation, meaning that you can have thousands of what I call agents out there that have their own CBD online website. It also includes 1 Wakana University admission, your source for cannabis education, as well as a lifetime Crown Jewel Limited payment on 2 levels. And every time you sell one of these starter packs, as a sponsor, you earn $40. You get bonuses from $4 to $20 paid up to 7 levels. Now, with these packages, again, our Wakana University admission is included. The Wakana University is amazing. We just had our certification this past weekend, and it is an 8-hour course, online course, that goes over social media marketing, how to build a strong customer base, how to make money in edibles, talks about different stocks you should be looking at in the cannabis industry to invest in. CBD 101, I'm telling you, I will teach you everything you want to know and more about CBD. And compliance. We understand that compliance is really important. See, this industry is not yet regulated by the FDA, but you best and believe the FDA is looking for companies to issue fines and violations to. So we teach you in our Wakana University the proper way to share our products and to share this opportunity. And then you learn also about our compensation plan. Now, our online store, which this is included in those packages, is your own online website. Now, what I love about the website is that you're able to earn money without holding any inventory. In fact, you earn between 20 and 50% commissions each and every time your customers come and purchase products. Your customers get free shipping with orders over $50. Yes, the CEO felt that during this pandemic that everyone should get free shipping if their orders are over $50. Your customers are able to get affordable, natural, and organic products that are tested, that are third-party tested. And then we also offer a 30-day free test drive. So let's just say that that $9.98 package is not something attainable, or maybe that $199 starter packs are not attainable. We are able to give you a free 30-day test drive where you have your own online dispensary, but we want you to get certified within those 30 days. And I meant to mention that if you come in with a 30-day free test drive, that admission to Wakana University is $199 if you choose to come in that way. So that is our online profits with our online dispensaries. Now, as you start building a team, you start to get what we call broker retail overrides. So as the sponsor, you're getting a 15% override on those that you bring in and all of their customers that are purchasing products on their websites that are coming in. See, we know that the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert, said the richest people in the world look for and build networks. Everyone else looks for work. Even Warren Buffett, who I called Bill Gates, I think 2 weeks ago. It was so funny. I'm like, no, that's Warren Buffett. But Warren Buffett, a billionaire, one of the wealthiest men in the world, guess what he invests in now? Network marketing companies. He's invested in 3 and he believes in the system. So the broker retail overrides are 5% on level 2. So you can see in this diagram how the overrides, as you start building a team and you're getting paid down all 7 levels, that compound effect is really, really exciting. Now let's talk about the shared wealth pool, because we talked about there's 7 ways to get paid, right? We've already talked about those online dispensaries and the retail sales. Let's talk about the shared wealth pool. Well, the very first benchmark of leaders in our company starts at a Sapphire level, or Sapphire dispensary means that your organization has done in 1 calendar month $10,000 in sales. A Ruby dispensary means that that team has done $25,000 in sales in one calendar month. The next benchmark of leadership here is called Emerald. They've done $50,000 in sales. So you may ask, what is the 50% rule? And what does that mean? Well, that means that the efforts of this revenue cannot just come from you. The efforts of that $10,000 as a sapphire, a ruby at $25,000, or an emerald at $50,000 has to come from you and 2 or more business partners. So not just the efforts of you, but 2 or more. Now let's look at the next level. Those are our diamonds. Right now, Wakana has 3 one-star diamonds. A 1-star diamond is defined as an organization that's done over $100,000 in revenue in one calendar month, all the way up to $1 million as a 5-star diamond in one calendar month. At the top, it says 1/3 rule applies. You may ask, Dr. Rita, what does that mean? Well, that means that the efforts of this revenue cannot just come from you. That $100,000 at a 1-star diamond has to come from you and the efforts of at least 3 or more business partners. So when we talk about shared wealth pool, our CEO, our visionary said, guess what? We're going to share the wealth. We're going to share the wealth with our leaders, and we're going to take 4% of our revenue at the end of every single month. And we're going to divide the outstanding shares between the sapphires, the rubies, the emeralds, and the diamonds. And we're going to give them a part of our revenue. And I'm just asking you, quite honestly, how many people on the line get a percentage of their company's revenue at the end of every month? Just put it in the chat box. I want to hear about it. She took it a step further. She said, you know what? As a 1-star diamond and above, we're going to give them an extra 2% on top of the 4%. So 1-star diamonds and above get additional 2%. That's 6% of the company's revenue at the end of every month is paid out. Really, really exciting. We also have a car allowance. No, you don't get a Mercedes-Benz, simmer down, but what you do get is $500 toward any car note as a 1-star diamond and above. And then our Diamond Lifestyle Reward Trip. To qualify for our annual trip, you must achieve diamond status for at least 2 consecutive months to travel with us to the motherland, to South Africa. So super exciting the way that our compensation plan is built. 7 different ways through our online dispensary, through our retail sales, through our shared wealth pool, through our broker overrides, our broker earnings, and our car allowance and free trips. So at the end of this presentation, there's 3 types of people. And whoever invited you really loves you, honestly. Because I'm telling you, the combination of an MLM like Wakana that has a very aggressive compensation plan with the addition of the cannabis industry that's going to be a $22 billion industry in the next 2 months, it's a game changer when you combine the two, and the leadership that we have here and our visionary, Melissa Boston. So there's 3 types of people at the end of these presentations. And if you're invited on the line, if you're a guest, I need you to remember what number you are. Number 1, you're that person that wants to be a customer. You heard what Dr. Joy Smith said. You're excited about addressing your health in a holistic, organic, natural way. Your customer, your person number 1. Person number 2, you know what, Dr. Smith, Joy Smith, Dr. Rita, you're talking too fast. I didn't understand what you were saying. I've got questions. So we're going to take questions. And number 3, you're a person like myself. You're a person like Dr. Joy Smith. When you heard the information, you want to lock arms with us here at Wakana, and you want to be a part of the opportunity. You understand that this pandemic has really shown how we all need additional income streams. You understand that the cannabis industry is going to be the next wealth creating industry that we're going to see in our entire lifestyle time. You understand that the leadership here is so solid that when you combine the two of a network marketing with the cannabis industry, it's a game over. So remember your number 1, 2, or 3. We're going to take questions right now. So we're going to open it up for questions now, Dr. Smith. And we're going to open it up just with a question that I have, many people have. And how do you take CBD and you're on medications already? You've talked to your doctor has approved, CBD. And how do you recommend that you take your CBD if you're on prescribed medications?
Myself, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. So right up my alley, right? When you're taking CBD and other medications, what we have to keep in mind is that when you're taking them together, there's a potential for them to interact. Just like a lot of medications that people are on, whether they're on blood pressure, cholesterol, diabetes medications, a lot of times those medications do interact, but either the benefits outweigh the risk in terms of taking them, or they can be spaced out. So when we're talking about spacing out medications that interact, it's the same thing with CBD. If you find that you're on prescription medications and you want to avoid that interaction, you want to make sure you space them out by at least 2 hours. So take whatever prescription medication it is that you're on, wait about 2 hours or more, provided you don't have to take it again within those next 2 hours, but wait about 2 hours, and then as that medication has kind of already gone through your system and been digested, then the CBD will be coming when it won't interact with that medication. So the big idea, space it out by a couple of hours.
Thank you so much. And again, we have to really stress the fact that we can't make any claims, of mitigating, curing, treating any diagnosis. We really want you, if you're on multiple medications, you're under a physician's care, you're nursing, you're pregnant, that you always consult with your physician. 60 to 70% of physicians have never heard of CBD. They know very little about cannabis. That's why we want you to invite them to our call tomorrow evening, so that we can really help to empower a lot of our healthcare professionals out there to learn more about this plant. Question, are there any state restrictions? I'm in Georgia. So you know what? The 2018 Farm Bill was passed, which allowed hemp, which our CBD is extracted from, to be legally sold, consumed, and cultivated in all 50 states. But the problem with the Farm Bill was that not every governor read the memo. And it was interesting because when we launched Wakana in April of 2019, Texas didn't get the memo either, right? So in Texas, it was still illegal. And a month after opening up that market, the governor legalized hemp, even though it had already been legalized in 2018. So now the new thing that's going on in Louisiana, in Georgia, in Indiana, and some other states, they are now saying that smokable hemp is illegal. Is that crazy? Where is that coming from? Well, we believe that it's coming from the lobbyists who are really advocating for tobacco companies, right? Because they understand that when folks get their hands on CBD and they start smoking it, their desire for nicotine is gone. So they no longer have to smoke their cigarettes. So that's what happened during Prohibition, right, Dr. Joy Smith? The farmers who were in competition with making paper that were growing trees versus the farmers who were growing hemp were in competition. DuPont, who was making paint and clothes, was in competition with the farmers who were growing hemp, where you can make paint and clothes. So the same things we're starting to see. So right now, that is the restriction in Georgia. they are not allowing for any smokable hemp to be sold? Great question. It is on the ballot for November in West Virginia. Thank you. So Cora, it's on the ballot in West Virginia for smokable hemp? Is that what you're saying? Maybe so. Any other questions? I'll wait for her to respond. Great questions. It's a really quiet audience tonight, Dr. Joy Smith.
I know. Normally they're blowing up the chat with questions.
Which is better, chewing or sucking the gummies? Absolutely chewing the gummies. We want you to chew them, swallow them, and it takes about 30 to 90 minutes for gummies to get into the bloodstream. I really recommend that when you are sharing these products, don't give your customer or friend or family members the quick fix idea, right? It depends on the severity of your condition. It depends on your weight. It depends on how you metabolize how you metabolize CBD as to how fast it's going to work. If you have someone that has had chronic, debilitating arthritis for years, don't expect a gummy to work in a night. So you've got to be realistic. You've got to talk to your family about diet. I can't stress diet. You can't expect anything to work if you continue to eat poorly, if you continue to have a sedentary life. You know, the marriage between a good diet and rest and exercise with CBD is amazing. So that is something that I always want to emphasize, that you want to start low and start slow. You don't want to give someone that's new to CBD a lot of CBD initially, because they will have a side effect. They may get a little nauseated. They may get a little fatigued. Start low and slow. Those power gummies are very potent. Please just eat a half a gummy. Take your time with those gummies, okay? Our gummies are infused. They're not coated. So because they're infused, the CBD is throughout the entire gummy, and they're very effective. Did you want to add anything to that, Dr. Smith?
No, I believe you said it all. I wanted to reemphasize the fact that the good diet is what is going to help that absorption of the CBD be that much better, because it's been proven that CBD and a good diet work together in terms of reabsorbing into your body. So you got it all, Dr. Rita. Okay. I was just sitting shaking my head like, yep, that's it.
Andre Morse asked, what if you have rheumatoid arthritis? So symptoms due to rheumatoid arthritis, the joint stiffness and pain, are topical is absolutely great for those symptoms, to offer local relief to those sore joints. Our tincture, as Dr. Smith talked about, underneath the tongue, and you combine that with a gummy at night for those acute onset of pain. The cartridge or the pre-roll will address that. So you want to get the entire package. When you're dealing with chronic, long-term conditions like rheumatoid arthritis, a gummy is not going to do it. Trust me. You're going to need the topical, the tincture, the gummy, and even one of the fast-acting pre-roll or vape cartridge. You want to add anything else about any of the essential oils that they may?
I think, like I mentioned before, our essential oils were really put onto our product line with health and wellness in mind. And so when you're talking about, like I said, peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, and I don't think I mentioned the eucalyptus before, but peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, and black seed, you're dealing with all oils that will attack bacteria, they can be antifungal in some cases, antiviral, and really just cleanse your space. And so a lot of these essential oils, in fact, all of them, the Essential Defense, our First Defense nasal spray that goes into our nose, all of those are perfect for such a time as this, where we're dealing with this pandemic. We're dealing with people being so sick. Our CBD oils and our essential oils are powerful, powerful. I like to call them plant medicines, although they don't cure. We're not saying that, but they're powerful, powerful. And these oils and these plants that these oils come from have been around for years. Our medications are the new kids on the block. So you'll even find that some of the essential oils and the CBD oils mimic some of the actions of the drugs that we take, but we're not experiencing as much side effects. So please don't hear me saying that you shouldn't take your medications, that you should stop them cold turkey and just completely switch over to using plant-based oils to cure everything in your life. I did not say that. But what I am saying is that there is another way. There's another alternative for healing and for wellness. So that's what I hope you hear us saying.
That's right. Another question, are your products on any retail shelves at this time? No, we are not on any retail shelves at this time. We're a home-based business model. So we do all of our marketing through one distributor at a time. So it's not our ultimate goal of the organization to be on retail shelves. What is the best to take? I think we answered that, Andre Moore, as it relates to rheumatoid arthritis. What is the passcode for tomorrow fireside chat? It's the same passcode that you use this evening. No question, but Dr. Rita, I love the new roll-on liquid relief. I do too. I love the new roller ball. I just roll it on my left shoulder and my right knee and my lower back. That new roller ball liquid relief comes in the party pack. I love it as well. Dr. Smith, can you touch on taking CBD with vitamins?
Yes. So when taking CBD with vitamins, typically vitamins are going to be multivitamins, meaning that they have a bunch of things in them like folic acid, or if you're talking about a multivitamin, folic acid or B12 or a lot of different components that will provide all the multivitamins you need. So since there are a lot of vitamins in that multivitamin, it will probably be best to space it out just in case there are any interactions. For the specific multivitamin that you may be talking about, I can run an interaction check if you want to talk to me like offline. But it's just kind of best that if you have a medication that has a multitude of components, that you just space it out just to be safe. And then once you've done that interaction check to see if there is actually an interaction between those medications and the CBD, then you can know whether it's okay to take them both together. But if you don't know, space it out.
Yes, our gummies are vegan and non-GMO. Gout is very much like a arthritis. So as well as the symptoms with very painful joints, specifically the big toe in gouty arthritis, recommend the same regimen, which would be our topicals, our tinctures, our gummies at night, and that fast-acting either CBD pre-roll or our cartridge. They said mix with MCT with the essential oils. Where do I get MCT oil, Dr. Joy Smith?
You can purchase MCT oil at most health food stores. What I would recommend is that if you're getting it from a health food store or from an online source, that you either download or go to a website called the Environmental Working Group and search for that Skin Deep option. Because just because sometimes something says MCT oil, sometimes it's not all pure. It's not all pure coconut, MCT coconut oil. So you may want to look at whatever ingredients are on the back of that label, enter it into the Skin Deep platform, and it can kind of let you know the harm level of those. So that's just a little trick to figure out, like when you're getting certain oils that say MCT oil, look at those ingredients on the back. If it's not straight MCT oil, likely it's mixed or cut with something. And then if it is, you can go on and look and see what those ingredients are and how harmful or not that they are. So online, health food stores, but always make sure you're looking at that label before you purchase any MCT coconut oil.
Great. And last question, because it's 9:01, respecting everyone's time. The question is, where are the products manufactured? Well, our products are sourced organically from farms, hemp farms in Colorado, Oregon, and Kentucky. All of our products are organic. They are all compliant with the State Department of Agriculture, and they are also compliant with the 2018 Farm Bill, meaning that they're sourced from hemp, which is defined as containing 0.3% or less of THC. So again, if you're a guest on the line, you want to contact the person that invited you. Let them know if you're number one, a customer, number two, after all these questions, you still have questions, no worries. Or number three, you're ready to get started. You're ready to lock arms with us. You're ready to get that full Crown Jewel dispensary at $9.98. And that full Crown Jewel dispensary can be broken up into 2 payments, or you're ready to get one of the starter packs, either the stimulus or the millennial pack. So I want to thank you, Dr. Joy Smith. It's such a pleasure doing this call with you on Tuesday night. Can you guys just type in how amazing she was? Just put Dr. Joy Smith.
And you all type in that Dr. Rita was amazing. I'm excited to be on this call too.